This is the Red Card segment powered by Arminco Inc. Thanks for checking out Synergy Practices every episode. We really appreciate your support. My name is Darwin Navarrete. I'm here with Sasha Boadpal and our team Safarian. Sasha, we have a Red Card segment. It's a good one. Take it away.
Yeah, actually this is something that just happened to me yesterday. I was looking forward to today to talk to you guys about it. Let me take you guys through it because it's a fun one. I had a call, Arminco got a call about a client who needed a little assistance on the Eastern Shore in Maryland. And so I kind of spoke to him a little about it. It seemed like some construction problems, and so I figured I'll go out and check it out, see what's going on. I go out there and the facts are important here, guys. So I go out there and it's a commercial construction building, okay? Standard, multiple story commercial construction building. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, run of the mill, nothing crazy here, I've seen this before. And I get into his space, I literally walk through the doors of his space and I start laughing because they built the walls of this commercial structure, but in his space, in his project, the contractor has used wood studs. So I started laughing, and then he looks at me and he goes, you're the second person to laugh. What is going on? What am I missing here? And I'm like, first of all, you have wood studs. Then I come to realize that inspector has failed him. And I'm like, how did this happen? How did we get to this point? Please give me the details. So right off the bat, biggest red card here is, biggest red card for many is wood studs. You cannot have a metal stud structured building. You can't just randomly go in there and do residential style wood studs. I have to make that as clear to him as possible. Yes, I understand your home has wood studs, it's a different construction type. This building is a 2B construction type. Everything must be metal studs.
Or firing.
Or firing, correct. Yeah, you're doing wood studs, you must have firing wood studs, correct. So I'm talking to him about this, and the inspector has failed him. So I go, give me the rundown. What happened here? He's like, well, I got 3 bids from 3 contractors, and it was way out of the budget. Even the bank said it was way out of the budget. But so I ended up finding this crew who could do it for significantly cheaper. And then I started laughing again, and he was like, let me guess, they're cheaper because they did something wrong? I'm like, they're cheaper because they used the wrong material. First of all, you've done this wrong. You used a cheap contractor.
That's the second red card.
That's the second red card. Bam, another red card.
Using the wrong contract.
And I felt bad. I mean, by the end of it, we were having a good conversation, but I felt a little bad just because I was there to see what could be done, and I'm very curious to see what art you would have done in my shoes there. But it was there to see what could be done, and I want to hear from you guys. From me, I basically told them it's got to be redone. I mean, am I wrong, Doc? Tell me.
I think there's a lot of questions. Is it only framing glass, or did they do plumbing work and done electrical work?
So
was everything done? Or?
So the rough-ins.
I'm supposed to, the rough-ins.
The rough-ins. I'm gonna explain. Rough-ins are basically just for the
within the walls.
Within the wall.
Because that's when they called inspector and inspection and found out, right?
I can't. I'll have to show you guys a picture. I can show a picture to our listeners. I can show them too, but you guys gotta see this thing. But basically, the rough-ins were done, the studs were up. Basically, from the way the doctor explained it, inspector walked through the front doors, laughed, his words, laughed, failed him, walked out.
Well, one, I can see that right now. Obviously, if there was an inspector, there was permit. There was permit, and there were drawings. The drawing was submitted. Permits were pulled, which means this contractor did not follow the drawings. Period.
Yes.
So that's one issue right there.
We're gonna check off all these red cards.
Forget the fact that he built it out of wood studs, 2x4s, 2x6s that are not firing, right? But he didn't even follow the drawings. His drawings were stated that these were kind of so that's one. So the problem you're gonna have is you can't convert wood into metal studs instantly.
Unless you're a magician.
So you have to, you have to tear it down. So now everything you paid him, hopefully the doctor is not paying contractor loan. The contractor is due to disappear, or they maybe had an agreement and he said maybe I don't know. This is the way I'll do it. I'll keep it cheap. I've had people do it that way, right?
Yeah.
They just listen to what they want to listen. They want to believe. And if the contractor has maybe told them, yeah, I can do it, we can build it for this price, but I'll be using wood. The doctor agreed to use wood, and now here we are, we use wood, which is not right? That's not utilizing the correct contractor. I'm assuming the contractor could have been a residential contractor, or, like you said, a crew of some sort that belonged to a general contractor. And he's doing this on the side, and therefore they're cutting corners, right? And you didn't even say what kind of doctor this is.
Yeah, so I was gonna say a couple of things. It's a pediatric dentist, and the crew, the contractor, if you will, I have put a call out to them, but I haven't heard yet. The client has asked me to speak to them directly. I'll have more details coming in a few coming days, but for now, that's all I've got for you guys. But
Pediatric, let's say it gets done, do you want to take the kids there?
Imagine all the nice things falling on your kid. I mean,
all
it's
the
such a
nice things
risk.
falling.
It's a risk. It's a risk.
He's right. No, he's absolutely right. It's scary, but it's scary.
Well,
He's absolutely right.
like I said, at this point, what do you do? What do we do at this point? You gotta bring it down. You gotta probably suck it up and pay more. Somebody has to remove everything, remediate it, and then restart over. So technically, if the doctor thought he was saving money, now he's gonna go back and hire one of those other 3 contractors that priced it out, right? Plus pay them more because someone has to bring everything down from scratch. I can't even think of anything. I wasn't there, I haven't seen it, but I can't think of anything he can potentially save because look, the roughen is within the studs. In order to take the studs out, you have to take the roughing out to take the studs out and to put new studs. It's gonna be tough to save the roughing. Maybe any plumbing lines coming from the ground can be potentially, save and cut through and stuff. Those are maybe the groundwork you're probably the same, but everything else has to come out most likely, and it just adds in another layer of concern. Not to mention time. People, that's another thing. When people are looking at cost savings, not a lot of people evaluate time as part of them losing money, right?
Well, they're not open, so they're gonna.
But that's the problem, right? When you're looking at a business, the earlier you open, the earlier you can make
the more money. That's what I mean.
So if it takes you a month more to do your project, you just lost 1 month of making money.
You lost money on delay because that's going to cost you, and then exactly what you're saying, that's going to lead to more money loss with no revenue.
It's weird because the only time I'm seeing timing become an issue, you said it's a lot of revenue, depends, right? Because it's a lot of revenue for an existing doctor that's relocating. That's when most doctors, most clients are concerned more with time. They're like, no problem. I just don't want to be shut down more because now they can calculate the revenue they're going to lose because they know on a daily basis what they make, and if they have to shut down for a week, they know what they're losing, right? But for a startup, that's not even in the picture yet, right? But it is in the business world. The sooner you finish, the sooner you start, making money.
Well, we've talked about everything that goes into opening a practice, from the HR to getting your staff trained. There are so many pieces that these doctors have to, that ship has to keep on sailing in so many ways to ensure that the operation is successful. So it will affect that doctor in so many ways that it's not even thought about right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, and something else to keep in mind, the inspector left this is the red card segment, but he left a red flag on the project itself. So it literally had a red flag, this project, from the inspector, which could be scary. You know that if they put a pause on these permits, that's a whole different problem.
See, the problem comes in a lot of places. If we're in construction, we know it, right? You get on the inspectors of the county that side, they're gonna put you on a microscope. So everything they look at, they're gonna evaluate it they're gonna want to see a regular contractor in there, so they're dealing with a regular contractor. That's just inevitable. Every inspector is gonna, give this client a hard time if he's running this project.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is that the doctor wanted to know, how can I get this plane to land? And I said, this plane exploded in the air. We got to build a new one. This thing is done. So, scary situation. Something I just wanted to bring you guys' attention. We talked about it multiple times now. I'm going cheap, using the wrong contractors. This is one of the worst cases I've seen. Because it's going to really stub the cost for the client. So, multiple red cards. Just something to keep in mind. do your due diligence, use the right people, use the right materials.
Thank you everyone for checking us out. If you haven't had a chance to listen to our previous episodes, please do so by searching for Synergy Practices Podcast. You can find it on Spotify, Android, as well as the Apple Podcast Market. And if you have any questions, you can always contact our team. Our team, Sasha, myself, you can email us at info@armincoinc.com. Synergy Practice, red card segment.